Track 6. Room 1. The room is long and rectangular, and just ahead is a yellow dividing wall bearing the exhibition title in white letters, Vic Muniz, with the Naked Eye, curated by Daniel Rangel. Behind you, on a red wall with white lettering, is the institutional text on the left and the credits panel on the right. On the left, the wall is green, and you will find a tactile piece reproducing Medusa marinara, 1997. The original work is on the right. The original work is an inkjet print on archival paper, measuring 30.5 by 30.5 centimeters. It is a humorous and inventive reinterpretation of Caravaggio's famous Medusa. In Muniz's recreation, he uses spaghetti and tomato sauce to transform a plate of food into a dramatic and recognizable representation. The effect is both playful and technical, as one can perceive the artist's skill in manipulating everyday materials to create a visually complex composition. Muniz physically sets up the ingredients in the scene and then photographs the result. The final work is the photograph, not the setup itself. The image shows a white plate seen from above, with leftover spaghetti and tomato sauce scattered across the surface. The food has been arranged to form the figure of an expressive human face at the center of the plate, reminiscent of Medusa. The face appears to be screaming, its mouth open and clearly defined, its eyes dark and intense, and the strands of spaghetti placed around it as if they were disheveled hair. The red sauce envelops the entire composition, further highlighting the dramatic expression created with the leftover food. Continuing along this wall is the Pictures of Garbage series 2008, comprising 7 works. Among them is the Gypsy, Magna, 2008, an inkjet print on archival paper. It is a large format photograph measuring approximately 227.8 by 180.3 centimeters. The image features Magna, a woman who worked as a waste picker at the former Jardim Gramacho landfill in Rio de Janeiro. From a distance, the viewer recognizes a classic portrait, but up close, the raw material of garbage, dirt, and waste becomes apparent, provoking a kind of astonishment and unease. Magna is depicted from the bus stop, with various materials arranged to form shadows, contours, and textures on her face, clothing, and turban. She is turned slightly to the right, wearing a serene expression and a half smile. Her face is composed of earthy tones and small pieces that create depth. Her turban features tracks of multicolored objects, and she wears a large round earring of metallic materials. Her shoulder and the upper part of her garment feature folded fabrics and recycled elements, suggesting movement and volume. The light and neutral background highlight the portrait. On the same wall, there is a color photograph titled Atlas, Carlão, printed with an inkjet printer on archival quality photographic paper. Created in 2008, the photograph measures 129.3 centimeters high by 101.6 centimeters wide and is displayed vertically. The image portrays a recycling worker, composed entirely of discarded materials, set against a light background. The worker is Carlão, a middle-aged black man. He is portrayed standing from the waist up, his face contorted and his posture rigid, conveying effort and concentration. With his arms raised, he balances an enormous mass of waste resting directly on his head. This bulky load is a vibrant collage of fabric scraps, packaging, plastics, cardboard, bottles, broken toys, scrap metal, and fragments of household objects. Carlão's face and body are drawn using earth dust, pieces of cloth, and small repurposed objects. resulting in an image rich in textures and tones. Carlon has thick eyebrows, large eyes, a broad nose, and full lips. A well-defined goatee highlights his chin and gently frames the lower part of his face. He wears a light-colored t-shirt, layered with a brown vest that features the word cat, the beginning of the word catador, waste picker, in small, dark fragments that resemble beans. Cords, threads, and strips of fabric hang from his shoulders to his waist, creating folds, volume, and texture in his clothing. Continuing in the corner of this wall is the work The Great Book, 1990 to 2026. It is a book with a brown cover titled Encyclopedia Britannica in gold lettering. It has so many pages that the book stands nearly 1 meter tall. In the middle of the room, there are 4 works: The Adventure, a closed helmet with no visor, painted red, yellow, and black; Fossil, a motorcycle engine embedded in a material resembling earth, both displayed in glass cases; and 2 cars from the mnemonic vehicle series, a green Jaguar and a silver Porsche. The Jaguar's front left wheel overlaps the Porsche's right fender, and both sit atop their toy boxes. Next is the mixed media sculpture Nail Fetish, measuring 70 centimeters high, 33 centimeters wide, and 30 centimeters deep. The piece, with an aged metal appearance, depicts Mickey Mouse standing, his right arm slightly bent at waist level, holding a wooden tool resembling a chisel. The face retains the iconic Disney Mouse's caricatured features: round, prominent ears, oval eyes, and a rounded golden nose. Its body, however, is almost entirely covered by a thick layer of rusty nails. The metal elements accumulate compactly over the torso, arms, and legs, concealing much of the character's original structure. Among the nails, there are also wires, pieces of rope, and scraps of yellowish fabric. In the center of the abdomen, a rectangular wooden cavity stands out, resembling a small, empty niche. In front of this work is the dividing wall you saw right at the entrance. On this side, it displays the curatorial text. Now let's move along the yellow wall on the right, where the series Sugar Children is displayed, with 6 photographs. One of them, a black and white inkjet print, is Valentina the Fastest, 1996, which measures 59 centimeters high by 39 centimeters wide and is displayed vertically. The work is a portrait of a black girl, created through the delicate distribution of fine sugar particles in light and dark tones on a flat surface. Valentina faces the camera, depicted from the chest up. Her skin is represented by areas of densely deposited sugar, which form shadows and lights in variations of texture and depth. She has an oval face, almond-shaped eyes, a broad nose, and thin, tightly closed, slightly curved lips, as if holding back a smile. Her hair is braided into cornrows close to the scalp, forming curved lines that run along her entire head. Valentina wears a light-colored blouse with a wide, rounded neckline, textured with a braided pattern reminiscent of knitting. The background is whitish and irregular, with undulations and slight bumps that highlight the sugar's granulation. Next are 2 works from the Pictures of Junk series, a diptych titled Atalanta and Hippomenes, after Guido Reni, and Narcissus, after Caravaggio, 2005. In the latter, Muniz draws on Caravaggio's painting Narcissus, created between 1597 and 1599. This work portrays the young man in love with his own reflection in the water, a mythological theme that addresses vanity, identity, and illusion. The myth of Narcissus takes on new meaning as the artist depicts this image using discarded remnants of consumer society. Muniz retains the original composition but subverts the materials used. He then photographs the assembled artwork, and the photograph becomes the final piece. The artwork is large, measuring 225 by 180 centimeters, and the image is viewed from above, filling the entire frame. It depicts Narcissus, a young man who is kneeling before a dark body of water. He leans forward, his torso bent, resting his arms on the ground and forming a visual circle with his reflection. The light intensively illuminates his body, making it stand out against the darker background. The young man wears a white shirt with puffed sleeves and a dark vest. He tilts his head slightly downwards, allowing his brown hair to fall over his forehead. His face is shown in profile, and it is clearly reflected in the still water below. The composition conveys the sense that the young man is entranced by his own image, motionless and lost in contemplation. The composition features a vast array of recyclable materials and scrap, including rusted metal, gears, plastic containers, disassembled appliances, rubber, cables, cans, bottles, and other items. They vary in color, size, and texture, creating a complex mosaic. The darker, denser objects form the body's shadows and contours, while the lighter or smaller items fill in the details of the surrounding environment. The next wall, continuing to the left, is covered by a long green velvet curtain on which there is a pair of black men's shoes with large rounded toes, along with a volume corresponding to a human body. This is the Work Shoes, 1990 to 2025. At the end of this wall is the entrance to the next room,